Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
This is episode 137 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
You actually started?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you didn't even
No. Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, gravel wheels, Joey.
Camping wheels.
Camping, gravel wheels, or just playing bikes. What are you drinking over there tonight, Joseph?
Dirty Russian. No, a Kentucky Mule, sorry.
Kentucky. What's a Kentucky Mule?
It's like a Moscow Mule, but with like whiskey or bourbon instead of vodka.
Oh, nice. You need to start making me mini drinks on Tuesday nights.
Oh, I got beer. I got a beer for you. I got an Oktoberfest.
Okay. I'm having an AHA.
No, you have to drink a beer this episode.
Citrus
you
and green tea, which has caffeine. It's sparkling water with caffeine in it. So I'm just going to get drunk on caffeine.
I did this.
That looks good.
Well, I did salt last week. I did salt and some of that like Meat Church jalapeno like rub. Mixed with it, and that's what's around the brim.
That's what you have right there.
Oh yeah, it's freaking.
It looks good. You need to take a picture of that.
I did. I tagged you in it,
and we'll make that. Well, I need a new one.
Well, I have one.
Be the cover photo for this.
I was waiting. I'm like, well, let's just start drinking. This is my fourth already.
So have
we were 4 hours late?
Have we talked about the fact that my Roubaix is back on the road yet? Have we talked about that? Because you got it. No, because I raved.
Yeah, didn't we talk about it last week?
I don't think we talked about it last week because I don't think I had it back yet. I don't remember.
Maybe
we talked about how all my bikes were broken.
I think you got it back Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
you did, and I need to give you.
It's still broken.
Huge. Well, it is still broken.
Did you get an email update on this?
No, I did not. Oh. My new shifters, I did not get. So, Joey broke it all down. You put it all back together.
I broke it down.
And new crank, new power meter, new chain, new cassette.
New cables, new housing.
Everything. I mean, and that bike is so...
I didn't bleed the brakes because I was afraid to.
Yeah. The
corrosion around... Yeah.
the last piece to still come in is new shifters. And did that set that you had me buy include calipers?
It should be the whole thing.
Okay, I couldn't tell from that whether it had the calipers with it or not, but...
Well, you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
I will get what I will get, exactly.
No, I don't know.
That is exactly right, I think, in today's market. Well, you told me when I walked in with that box of all those Shimano parts, you asked me if I had a security guard with me.
I know.
Box of brand new Shimano parts. I'm so happy with that bike. Any update on... Because the longer it takes me to get this frame, the more things I'm going to want to add to the frame.
I was just trying to sell you a whole new bike last night.
I know. It's
like in a friendly manner, not even like...
And I actually did. I did do the numbers really quick.
You're not far off.
I know. That's what I realized.
You're not far off. That's what I was like, all right, Brian, you get your ambassador thing with Specialized on the frame or on the bike, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, you're going to buy wheels. You're going to buy all this stuff because you asked me about DI2 and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, dang, I just got a ship notification. We're getting a bunch of Diverge experts. And
if I hadn't done all that work I had still do all that work to the Roubaix.
Yeah.
So, okay. No, I can't do that. I just put you're killing me, Smalls. What wheels does that Diverge expert come with?
Terra C's.
C's, not the CLs?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the CLs, right? That's what you've got.
Maybe.
We'll talk about wheels later. Let's talk about wheels later. For me, that's really... I'm just continuing to plow the big miles and hope that I'm going to be ready for the gravel portion of unpaved. It's all I can do. I can't it's all I can do. I can just keep riding the bike as much as I can. And that's my mechanism to prep. So I'm doing like 275 to 300 mile weeks for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I'm worried about you.
Dude, I feel great. I don't know. You're worried that I'm going to like bonk out?
Yeah, I am.
Burn out or something? I don't see it because this is my last big week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on vacation up to North Carolina mountains. Going to take the Diverge, do a little gravel riding, but no big miles. So this is the beginning of the taper. This is my last big week. And then I've got 2 full weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks of taper ahead of unpaved. So if I haven't burnt out yet, I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
I'm actually writing an email about your frame right now.
I think I'm going to be ready. I think I
Well,
think that's my plan. So what is going on in your world besides writing emails?
I'm just checking in on your frame.
It's great to do that during the podcast.
Emails, yeah.
I really
Yeah, but if I don't, like, I'm thinking about it now.
No, I know. It's what I always talk about. You know, I'm getting the new shifters for the Roubaix, and the only parts we didn't touch on the drivetrain were the actual derailleurs and the shifters.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, before I actually committed to the new shifters, I think it was and putting that much money into it, the logical thing was to go, well, what would it take?
Yeah. Did you see I tagged you on a GRX Di2 group set this morning?
Yes, I did. I
was like, what did he want? Like
$1,500.
Yeah, that's freaking steal.
$1,500.
Came with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you buy it?
No.
Should have.
Well, now that I've got the shifters,
you could hook those shifters.
No. It's still another $1,000, $1,100 to put into it, and that's just not where. No, it was fun to explore and to think about, but I really don't think it's necessary on the Roubaix. Those Ultegra shifters and the Ultegra derailleur, everything's fine on that bike. It works great. I know everybody has said once you go to Di2, it's hard to go back.
Yeah,
I have not had a problem going back and forth between the GRX Di2 on the gravel bike and the shifters on the Roubaix. I just, it's never been an issue for me. So I don't think it's something I'm really going to worry about. But again, I thought it was the right time it was the right instincts to kind of like before you sunk all that money into
back end now, the email set.
You know, okay. What's going on in your world? Anything going on at the shop? Anything we need to know about?
Shops changed a little bit since you came in last. Just a couple more fixtures, some stuff on the walls, nothing dramatic. Still piecing it together. Got some. I've been getting a lot of. I have so many Rich Supply socks now. Did you see my wall?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
I did see the pictures. That's nice.
I got our GTD jerseys hanging above them.
So colorful. That's what's so cool. It's
I don't want people to buy them because we almost ran out the last batch, and it was like I need more.
It's almost like they're a display fixture in and of themselves.
I know.
To be honest, they're just so.
Well, I finally bought pegboard hooks or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I could never use that big thing, that big wall. And the socks are perfect on there. They pop.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it looks. And I'll come in. I need to come in the next day or so.
They look great. And speaking of Ridge Supply, Matt just posted like tomorrow's the anniversary of when he got. You know how Ridge Supply started when he got hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we talked about it. I think tomorrow's so he has some stuff popping out. Ridge Supply. They sent out an email today.
Nice.
Some cool products, but we have a lot of it.
Good.
And it seems like it's weird. Like, I mean, socks. I mean, I know people pay for socks. I obviously own a lot of socks. People will come in and buy like 3 or 4 pairs at a time of like $15 socks.
Did you get some pairs of the Skyline Fire? Because I thought maybe in the new shop you would be afraid of the Fire ones.
There's some beautiful colors. The socks that I got that look like they match our kit have a little purple on them though, but those look hot.
Yeah.
There's some autumn ones. I think it's the autumn colorway. I don't know. They all look good.
Yeah.
So a lot of socks. We're rolling in a bunch of stuff. We're got a lot of nice bikes in and on the way. Got a bunch of Diverges lined up.
Cool.
Diverge experts.
Maybe. How many 56s you got coming?
One.
killing me over there.
Yeah, no. I put your
No,
name
I can't do that. I can't. What color
You
is
just
it?
come to work for me.
What color is it?
I don't know. I never looked at the color. I just saw 56.
Well,
No,
I don't
shop-
really look at the colors either. You know that. I know.
Shop stuff's been good. I don't know. Like, stuff ebbs and flows. We go through a bunch of stuff, reorder, go through a bunch of stuff again.
Are you going to do a grand opening? I got this question the other day.
I think maybe it might be like a good. Actually, time's flying.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of projects I want to do before, and it might be like January.
I mean, you may even make it next spring.
I mean, that'd probably be. I'd like to line. I mean, November. The weather's so iffy. November, December. We could have a good weekend and just hip hip hooray.
Well, I know you want
I'd love to do it around Christmas and have Santa.
Oh, I know him.
You dress up like Santa, I'll give you the bike.
Oh, done. Oh, you everybody
on
heard
there.
that offer? I am not editing that out. No, I know you want to get all your fixtures in place and have the shop looking good before you do a grand reopening.
I got
But
to take care of our meth bathroom that we're working on.
So I think if
Storage.
you did, I think it'd be acceptable to wait even until spring of
True,
next year to have a grand.
Get our fridges
reopening.
in. We need our little mini fridges for beverages. Oh,
I mean, but if you wait till just like everything, if you wait till everything is done, then you'll never do it. So you can't wait till
Nothing's never done.
everything's lined up. But
No, that's about it. We're freaking cram. Like we have like I might close service like we did before the fire.
no way, really?
just-
Wow.
We don't have the same storage we did, but for the storage we have, like we're pretty maxed. And I don't want to run into another situation.
where you got a bunch of bikes and
Yeah.
you get the liability.
And there's
of
a
all those
handful of
bikes.
bikes that we're still waiting on stuff for that or is out of our realm, but there's other bikes like people need to get them out of there. But that's it.
You ever have a problem with people just abandoning a bike?
Oh
Or
yeah.
like they don't come and get it for months. It's like it's ready. And
I mean, I won't say names or get super detailed. I mean, there is a couple bikes in the shop during the fire that were checked in, and we keep pretty good paper trail of it. Like they were checked in like December or January,
wow.
and then every time we call to say, hey, your bike's still here, we mark, we write down the time and we initial it, and then there was someone who their bike was there since January, and they were one of the first people that went up to Lori like at College Park and asked for a new bike already. I'm like,
Good grief.
I mean, at the end of the day, if I really wanted to, I mean, we have like a thing. It's like 30 days.
yeah.
I could, or I'll charge you storage, or I'll sell it.
Yeah. I got a kayak like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, he called me. Yeah. He said he could just move in there. He could live in the barn.
Well, yeah.
Oh, really?
Dude, the rent will be high, but that's an
the
acceptable.
ceilings are high.
That's an acceptable alternative. You mentioned that you have like the tech tees and some jerseys hanging above the socks.
Yeah,
so
dude.
that jerseys and tech tees are in.
Yeah, everyone.
here?
Everyone. The way Cutaway works, which is great, should already have them at their house.
So they direct ship to if you bought the jersey or the team direct
Let's
ship.
see.
to
I got
you.
a picture. And then if you're, see.
See, that looks nice.
Yeah.
That should be the cover photo for this week's episode.
maybe.
That would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Excellent.
That's so hot.
And then I ordered a butt ton for stock, and I've already been, slinging a few through the Instagrams.
So
And,
if people are looking for jerseys, they didn't get on the order,
just message me.
and just message Joey. You got them in the shop. Are you selling them through the shop or just selling them through the
No,
shop?
I just
whatever
decided
you
it'd be easy. I have Venmo and PayPal.
Okay.
I figured instead of checking them in, worrying about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
I wore
So-
mine yesterday. I thought like they're a little bit tighter.
So the tech tees are a little snug.
They're not like
They're more like a jersey fit.
yes
in a t-shirt.
Yeah, and depend on how we could have went up a size.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do that for shop because I'm doing the same things for the shop.
See, I wanted to wear it as like a knockaround shirt.
So I thought I'd wear it to work, but I don't have the body.
No, neither do I.
But when I'm riding, I don't have the body for it. But it was very comfortable yesterday. Like I'm used to either having a jersey or occasionally I'll wear like my Hawaiian shirts or something.
Yeah.
When I wear those, it's like especially on your back when it's sweaty and like that thing just wicked all the
Yeah.
sweat away. It was not heavy and soaking. Like it was very nice and it was comfortable.
To be fair,
To be fair.
but
But I also felt great wearing those with baggies on a road ride and like going
Yeah,
to Starbucks and
it's
then
like
not
wearing
being
a
a cyclist.
jersey, but it's not a jersey. It's just with no jersey pockets, no zipper. It's just kind of like
I liked it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll wear mine at Unpaved.
yeah.
Yeah.
You wear the tech tee at Unpaved?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
I'm gonna
no,
have
I'm
a
just-
frame
I know.
bag on for stuff.
Yeah. I'm
So-
not
Well,
saying
it could be
anything. I'm
cold,
just
and
curious.
who knows?
Yeah. Weren't we talking about doing some like kit components to go along with the jerseys, like doing some.
Oh, I think I actually overwhelmed Philip. Maybe I got to check
the shop orders and all that.
Yeah, because I went really in depth and
maybe for next season. Or next season.
Next season, we're doing a whole new.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody, if you want to get the original, the OG GTD jersey, you better get with Joey.
Yeah.
You better get with Joey now.
I do have a full size run left of the jerseys with like a few of like double sizes, like
a
extra
full
large.
size run. That's what you said.
Yeah,
okay,
Tech Tees though, I think I'm down to an extra large from 2 extra larges, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've already sold the other sizes.
So we're talking about complete and total redesign for, and I think that's a good shelf life. 2 years for a jersey for a kit, and then maybe next year when we do one in the spring, we'll do a full kit.
Yeah,
that would be hot.
Cargo pockets.
I like that a lot. Let's do that.
Did the Hush Money order? The Hush Money kit order is over. I did get a new kit from Hush Money. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to try that brand, LL, whatever they call it, for a while.
Excellent. You have to let me know that works.
Yeah, because they seem pretty comfortable. I do love my cutaway jerseys, though.
Now, for everybody that follows us on all the social media places, you've already seen this, but we started to talk a little bit about this trip last week.
We're going viral.
We went to Purcellville out in Loudoun County, and it was Joey, Jess, Marcus, and myself. So there's 4 of us went out in the giant truck.
Only 3 came home. No, just kidding.
Marcus drove in his giant truck, and I took a bunch of video clips with the idea of putting a video together for the trip. And when I got back, I just didn't really feel like I had enough. But then Tom Stewart says, I'm waiting for the video. Yeah. So, Tom, that's for you. But, we've had over like 500 views on that video as of viral today. Yeah. And it was fun. I think it gave a good flavor of what a GTD trip is all about. And I want to do some more of that.
There was no one naked in the parking lot like when Wes would be around. Because I have that on video, an accident.
or opening a porta potty door on somebody when they're in there doing their business. None of that. It's all very PG. It's very PG.
Oh, it was great.
It's PG. It's great. It's good. It's a lot of fun to do. I enjoyed putting it together, and I think we'll do some more of them because we talked about going to the towpath, and then that fell apart, and we need to plan a trip. We need to plan another trip.
I think we're doing a shop version. Well, it's supposed to be a shop ride Monday, and then everything fell apart. Might recoup and do it next week. I don't know.
I think I don't know if I'm in town Monday or if I leave Monday. I can't remember. I can't remember what my own travel plans are. I have no idea.
Are you doing a bike ride? What are you doing down there?
No, I'm just going to North Carolina for like vacation for a week, just to get away. We need it badly. Unpaved. Now, unpaved is literally around the corner. I mean, it's breathing down our necks at this point.
That's over there around the corner.
And speaking of which, I've talked with Dave a couple times this week. Dave's in the midst of career change, but he has agreed tentatively to come join us next week.
Coming down here?
No.
Sleep in the spare
bedroom?
bedroom?
That'd be awesome. I tried to get
I
him
won't wash the sheets if he sleeps in that bed.
He had a week away, and I threw it out there. I offered to him. I said, Dave, I've got a nice little waterfront, fully finished, brand spanking new basement apartment. Comes, you and Celine.
I don't blame him.
And well,
I wouldn't sleep with you. You're like staring at him the whole night. You awake?
I'll only leave one of the cameras on, Dave. No, I tried to get him to come down, but he's got his hands full in the midst of all that stuff. But he has agreed to take some time out of his schedule next week, if it works out, to come join us and talk a little bit about what's coming up with Unpaved. But much like I did at Rothrock, Joey, are you into like setting up like an hour or so, or an hour and a half or something, where we'll actually have some people, let's line up some interviews, talk to some people at the event? You want to do that?
Nope.
Okay, I'll do it then. I'll set it up and we'll make it happen. So I don't know when or where, but I don't know. We're going to do something. We're going to do something to talk to people when we're there. And Joey, if you want to just be lurking in the corner, that's fine too. I will do it. Last thing, sort of in the random bits. Have you seen that Ride with GPS has officially...
I saw that when I was planning a route last week.
Yeah, they officially introduced it now, though, what they call surface types. They give you a visual and a percentage breakdown of varying terrain, i.e. paved versus unpaved roads, both as you plan, view, and navigate routes. Now, I've been using Ride with GPS to plan routes for tours and events and, friends and fun forever. I don't even remember when I first started using Ride with GPS. This, I think, is just a huge kind of like jump. Because how many times have you gotten the question, or have we gotten the question, how do you find gravel roads? And this right there does it. If you're looking at a route and you search for gravel, you can actually look at the route now on Ride with GPS and see exactly how much of it is gravel, where the gravel is, if it's on elevation, if it's not. It's just so much information that's available now.
I just asked Mose. He knows.
Mose knows?
Mose knows.
They think this is the latest tool in their like little toolkit. They do heat map overlays, satellite maps, and street view, all of that stuff. I think if you're looking to plan routes, Ride with GPS. Now, Joey, did I mention that this episode is sponsored by Ride?
You see, we finally got a sponsor?
Wouldn't that be nice? Hey, Ride with GPS, come on over here. Look at all the good love we're sending your way. All right, what's going on in Strava Club?
I hate Ride with GPS.
No, how do you say that? You're not
We
serious,
just
are you?
killed our sponsorship.
You're not.
No, I love it.
Okay.
I played all my routes on there. Strava Club. All right, let's see. Top 100. Man, this was tough.
Yeah.
I didn't know who to pick. I just started doing random numbers. I found a couple spammers, but I didn't want to kick them out.
Okay, don't kick them out because they had numbers.
They got to get West to come home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bertrand Doron from Greenville, South Kakalaki with 239.4.
Nice.
Mark Knight, the Dark Knight, from Deatsville, Alabama. We're going south with 162.7.
Job, Mark.
And then Chet Johnson from Raleigh, North Carolina with 154.0. All the Southern folks.
Nice.
To break into the top 100, you needed 138 this week.
Did you get there?
No, I've had some slower weeks.
Okay.
I think I had like 100. I was low hundreds. We went up one member to 755 from 754. So if you're a listener and you're still not on our club because it's all hot and bothered, it's everyone's competitive. It's strava.com/clubs/gravel travel
Need
dirt.
some Strava drama.
Yeah.
I mean, what good club is what group of people that ride bikes doesn't have Strava drama? We need it. We want it. We
Not our
crave it.
group.
Huh?
Not our group.
Not our group. This would be the one place on Strava there's no Strava drama.
Yeah.
No, none whatsoever. Come, spam us all you want. You're talking about your number of miles. You looked really strong at Purcellville when we were out there on those climbs.
Well, thank you.
You were. I think you're ready.
I had a Red Bull for breakfast.
Did you really?
No, I didn't have enough breakfast. Was a
man.
problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Those climbs were great. Like I told you last week, I felt very comfortable on them.
I did go back and look at the elevation on that route. We were promised 2,200 feet,
Yeah.
and it ended up to be over 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I came out there to make those hills my B.
Yeah. Well, and you did. You succeeded. Good job. Okay, let's talk about wheels. What do
Which
you do?
ones?
Do you know anything, Joey, about bicycle wheels?
Well, we talk about meat and potatoes. I have jalapeno poppers on the smoker right now.
What time are they going to be done?
You can have one before you leave.
Oh, nice.
They're
Excellent.
on low. I might run and check them some point in time real quick.
Well,
Wheels. Yes, I
don't
know
do
all
that-
about wheels.
Don't do that now.
I do work in a bike shop, so it is expected that I know a little bit about wheels.
Well, I was big.
I've owned a lot of wheels. I've done the homework on wheels,
Okay, so gravel wheel specifically.
not gravel wheels though.
What makes a wheel set gravel specific? What are the features?
It depends on which way. Any wheel could be a gravel wheel, Brian.
Right, anybody can be a gravel.
Now,
like
if you want to get specifics and see what wheels more oriented for gravel tires,
There we
not
go.
gravel roads, then
there we
we're
go.
talking.
Okay, there we go. Let's
Yeah,
talk
see?
about it that way.
So a wheel that
See-
is more oriented for gravel tires.
Everybody needs to hear this because before this podcast, I have done my research. But before we started tonight, I said, Joey, I don't want to make a dummy of myself.
I was actually really close when you were talking to me about wheels before this episode. I almost was going to guess because this is what like when you get real into like looking for something.
Yeah.
It's what we talk about next because you do all the
Oh, yeah.
research.
Oh, yeah.
I almost I should have put money and say we're going to talk about wheels next episode, or Father Dave's coming on, like one or the other.
It came out of the blue too because I wasn't even wheels weren't even on my radar, and all of a sudden they're like all I want to think about now.
So, like I said, the way I phrase it, there's wheels that are more oriented for gravel specific gravel tires
Tires.
than gravel roads.
Okay.
That's
So
the best way to put it.
what makes a tire more suited for gravel or wheel more suited for gravel tires then? Let's say that.
So a lot of it is about width.
Okay.
Most of it's about width.
Width.
It's the way it's going to hold the tire.
Okay.
The way that tire is going to react on the rim under a load going over the road.
Okay.
Sorry, the gravel road, the road.
So when you have a wider internal width,
Correct.
then the profile of the tire on the wheel is wider,
That is correct.
and therefore you get more tire on the ground.
That is correct.
And then how does you had mentioned that how the tire reacts to the surface?
Correct.
What changes?
So I probably talk about it too much.
No,
at least
that's okay.
at
You
work.
can't talk about it too
So
much.
if I had a whiteboard, and if everyone takes their hands right now while you're listening to me
Okay,
talk
I'm doing
about
it
it
with
on
you.
your
I'm
radio.
doing it with you.
So you have your little rim right here.
Okay.
And you've probably seen me do this. And you have a little 19 millimeter internal, 17 like they used to do back in the day with
Right,
rim
right,
brakes. And you have your little tiny rim like this.
I got my little
And
tiny
you
rim.
got like a 38 millimeter tire. That millimeter tire, obviously, it's wider. So it's going to come up, and it's basically going to be a little light bulb.
like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to have that light bulb shape. So you're going to, what's the way the tire's shaped like that? So instead, I can't do that part with my hands. The whole hand, everyone put your hands down. All right. So think about a light
If you
bulb.
were driving and
Yeah.
listening to this, put your hands back on the wheel.
Unless you got a Tesla. Or you're riding the Metro. Who knows? If you're riding a bike, don't put, yeah. So you'd get a light bulb bulging shape like that. A lot of things can happen with that. You don't necessarily get the way the tires flared out. It'll affect the way the side knobs are placed. Because your tire's more pointed than rounded. So I don't think you get enough of the traction, or you got to run you'll really lower your pressure.
You're wasting a lot of tire.
Correct. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Things that can happen with that, your ride quality changes. You're more likely to get a pinch flat because when you smash that, you smash that pothole or the washboard, which you're going to do. You're more likely to pinch flat or burp or something because at the time people were still running tubes when they were narrower.
Or even if you're not running tubes, you could pinch and tear the side of a tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move into 2021 and you take your hands and you spread them apart a little bit and that light bulb stretches out. So now you got more just a straight U.
Like a dome.
Yes.
Like a dome shape.
And when you do that, you have the volume in there gets adjusted a little bit. This the tire gets spread out a lot better. So you go, you go from this to this, and you look at the way the tire is making contact with the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot more planted there. You can also run your PSI lower, and I feel like you still have more stability when you do that.
Okay.
Like I run my road tires on 25 internals. And I run them at 40 psi, and I feel like efficiency they're at 90 or 80, but comfort wise they're at the 40 like I want them to be.
Nice.
And I have enough. I'm not worried about rolling something off like that. So the other thing too is when you have your little light bulb, that's going to get ripped more sideways each way. That's how you could roll your tire off.
And burp it.
And it actually happens. People are probably like, "Oh, that's never going to happen." They're like yelling at the radio right now,
yeah.
but it happens.
Oh yeah.
But when you get these super wide internals, you get a way better profile of the tire. It's going to have a lot more contact. Like the bed of contact with the gravel is going to be greater, and everything is 100% about traction, just like mountain bikes.
Okay.
Like suspension. Once you get your suspension down on a full suspension mountain bike, and you keep your tires on the ground more, you get traction, and so you get stability and confidence.
Stability comps and also forward motion.
Yes. Which you don't realize it with gravel, and especially the roadies never believe me, but why we're not pumping our tires up as much to like 120 psi's, because you don't realize how much you skip across the asphalt at that pressure. So you get a little bit wider road wheel, you get a little lower pressure, and it actually is faster.
More traction.
Yeah.
More traction. More pull. More bite.
Yeah.
That's really what you're looking for. It's bite.
And you want to dig in the whole time. So yeah, 40's high when you got a wide wheel and PSI and some 42s, like 40 PSI.
So now
I probably said something slightly wrong there.
That's okay.
But I'm also drinking.
So when I run a Pathfinder, my Pathfinder 38, that tire has been measured, and that 38th is the width of that tire. But
that could change.
It could change.
Look at Marcus's Evo wheels.
Yeah, it could change depending upon the internal width of the hoop, the wheel, the rim. So a lot of times you say, well, I'm running 38s, but they actually could measure out at 40, 41.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's weird. So like my Athos, for example, because I crammed in some really fat 32s in there, and I have more clearance now on my wider wheel because it's pulling the tire out and down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I have a little more clearance.
Mm-hmm. What are you running on your Athos?
Like 32s.
32s.
I have room. There's a guy named Dylan Buffington who was a Specialized employee who had, I forgot he was probably running the Revols of some sort, and he was running 35 slicks on his.
Wow.
Which is fat.
Well,
it's like a dream.
I have watched you carefully with that Athos since it showed up with those big wheels, those big tires that you're rolling. Yeah. And you roll just as fast.
Oh, yeah.
As fast as any other road bike out there that we ride with in group ride. You're that is not a detriment, and I'm sure that people show up and they look at that and they
look at me and I'm like, hey, I will anyone that's on my B group, I will take you on any section. Doesn't mean I can't just sit in the back and party, but someone wants a pitching contest, I'll take anyone with that.
Yeah, it's amazing if somebody were to roll up and say, that tire right there, that setup is going to be as fast on the road as a 28
I'm
or
so
a 26.
freaking comfortable. So comfort turns into speed.
Yeah,
so.
I now agree with that because I did pull out my tarmac. Yeah. Did I do that before I got there?
We talked about it on last.
Did we?
You got like 18 flats and you blew up something.
Oh my god! It's just like basically like riding a cement block.
This is why we can't go live.
Joey's over there licking the salt off of his glass.
So good.
Okay, so that's one of the features. Are there any other features that definitively set apart a wheel set and make it more suited to a gravel tire?
Oh, heck yes. We just talked about it 3 weeks ago with the Explorer.
With the
look what Zip did, or was that Zip or SRAM? What's that, Zip?
It was Zip.
It's all the same. SRAM. Zip. At the end of the day, they totally have like a whole system behind there.
The ankle compliance.
That might be the first like full on like.
I've never seen or heard anything of that.
Yeah, I can't give you another thing that's different than as a gravel specific.
What about number of spokes? Is that
24,
really
28?
That's just
they're
dependent.
Gonna build them strong.
That's just dependent upon the manufacturer and how they're going to go about doing it.
Like the one thing, I'm a big Revol fan. The one thing like Revol does on their road wheels. So if everyone's not familiar with the Revol, they use TT Swiss 350, 240 hub internal kind of, even like mine are straight 350 hubs on my new Terra CLs, but Revol is famous for their star ratchet systems, and you have different star ratchets like 12 to 24, 36.
And that's all about how fast.
That's all about engagements. Yeah. Okay. So a typical road person doesn't need more than the 12. It's usually a little bit quieter, but you don't need that very fine tuning and engagements like you would if you're a mountain biker.
Okay.
Like when you're at a lower speed trying to catch that engagement while you're doing an obstacle or you're doing something on the trail. But like on the gravel wheels, they went up to the 24 tooth engagement. I think it's the 24 to that middle one.
So that's about response.
Yeah.
It's
a little louder wheel, but it is definitely a little more responsive when I'm trying to catch that while riding. I don't know if anyone actually the 36 you have to buy as an upgrade anyway, but that's something that's on the gravel wheels that are not on the road wheels. But I could take that out and get. It takes 5 seconds really to switch
replace the internals.
Yeah, they have a really solid hub, so it's super easy to work on.
Okay.
So that's one thing that Revol does on their Terra wheels is they come with the upgraded star ratchet, upgraded tooth count.
Okay.
So
that's the CL versus the C.
I don't know if the C. Let's see. Revol.
The C has the 350.
370.
370? I can't remember.
370 is like an OEM-ish.
Yeah.
Was never really a hub.
And what we're talking about, I want to make sure everybody understands that when we talk about wheels, we're talking about upgrades over stock. Unless your bike is a higher
stock
end,
wheels
unless your stock wheels on a higher end bike are actually a little bit more performance oriented. So some of the things to look for, obviously durability versus performance, because the more durable a wheel may be built, the less performance oriented it may be, and the more performance oriented a wheel is built, the specification is built to, the less durable it may be. So do you always have to trade off between those two things, or are there, I'm sure there are wheels out there that meet both of those criteria, but is that sort of like the big, so everybody gets a good picture of what we're talking about here. Your stock. I
was reading. I know we had talked about this just before too.
Your stock wheels are not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you were to do an entry level upgrade versus a mid level upgrade versus a, top tier upgrade.
Top tier.
So you're continually balancing along that spectrum, durability versus performance, or paying top dollar to get both. Is that sort of like, if I got a good snapshot in my mind of what the market looks like at the moment?
Yeah, sure, sir.
So your entry level upgrades, you could get durability or you could get performance.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it plays out?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
And then mid level, you're going to get towards both of those things, and then top tier. I'm just trying to figure out how to grade them is what I'm looking for. Is a good tool or a good measure in my mind to grade wheels on.
So your entry level, your stock, most stock bikes wheel sets are like $300-$400 at max. Mm-hmm. They're pretty bulletproof. They're probably heavy, but they're definitely built to last for most folks. But that's why I always tell everyone that the biggest upgrade is wheels on there.
Sure.
I would say the second and the third tiers I mix. So between $1,000 and $2,000.
Okay, yeah, let's use price points. That's
between
probably the best measure.
Unless there's a few. So like, I'm a big Revol fan, but there's a gap in some wheels. So like, I think aluminum wise, there's a gap between your stock wheels and. How do I say it? Like, Revol actually has a set of SLX 24s that I love. Like, I've had multiple sets. Wes has a set. Everyone runs them. They're like $800. They're still aluminum. They come with that DT internal hub, like that nice Revol DT Swiss hub.
And that's a road wheel.
Yeah, that's a road/gravel. Like,
okay.
I did dirty cans on those.
Okay.
And I have a set on them now. I rode, they're on my Kona.
Okay.
Those are pretty solid. They're like a 21 internal. So they're in between. I feel like they'd be wider, but when you go too wide on aluminum, they're going to get heavy.
Because the volume of material that you have to put into them for the stiffness.
Other than going to something like that or building up something with like some Head Belgium Plus or Emporia, I don't even know what they call them. They had their gravel. It's called the Eroica, and they were the Emporias or something. Now maybe the Head had like a Belgium Plus style wheel that was gravel oriented, that was wide, like a 22 maybe, or whatever internal.
Still not as wide as you're seeing some of them today. We're seeing internals up to 25.
Yeah. But you build, so like I went H plus Sun rims, which is, I would put it up against the Head Belgiums. But when at the time I was said and done, if I were to sell that wheel set, like MSRP, it's $1,200 and it's still aluminum. Mm-hmm. Like Jess has those wheels with the Chris King hubs.
Okay.
You don't need to build them with Chris Kings, but I also think people overlook hubs. Like I wanted something quality built in the U.S. So it was either Wide Industries, I9, or Chris King, and I went Chris King. But you're still paying $1,200. But then Revol comes out now with the Terra Cs or the C38s that are $1,000 wheel that's like super solid. Mm-hmm. It's not some Alibaba like no quality control Chinese wheel. No offense. Right. That's just what they're called. Yeah. That you could probably get them for $300 to $500, but I've also seen people hurt from them, and I've seen sidewalls explode on the rim brake versions in the past, or they're super heavy, or that's the one where you get what you pay for, literally.
Okay, so $300 to $400 is your sort of your stock, your stock range, and about $1,000 for an entry level upgrade, $1,000 to $2,000 for a sort of a mid level upgrade.
I don't even say they're mid high.
Okay,
I say after that it's boutique.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to say, like, Revol, I'm very specific with, just because I think they make some of the best wheels. And Zips actually finally fixed themselves. But, they're super solid. You got $1,000 to $2,500 wheel set.
Okay.
The only difference between their $2,500 and $1,500, their CLs and their CLXs, ceramic speed internals. They do change to the DTEXP a little bit of hub internals, but they use the same exact rim. Whether it's the Terra CLX or the Terra CL, it's the same exact hoop.
Okay.
You're getting a couple little things, but that's your $1,000 difference.
Same hoop, comes down to hubs, comes down to then the internal in
They'll
the
adjust
hubs.
the spokes a little bit, but like as far as their average person,
Okay.
no one's going to know.
Okay.
You know, some people want the flashy CLX or ceramic speed, but I mean that's about it. Like when you get to Envy and stuff like that, where they're like $3,000.
Right.
I mean, I've had 2 sets of Envies, and I went back to Revolve because I didn't like them.
Okay.
So it's not that I didn't like them. I just there's a freaking. There was a couple things that, whether it was some tubeless issues I was having with them or whatnot, or some other bits in delamination. It's like I shouldn't have this with like $3,000 wheels.
So
I can run over my Revolves and they'll give me a new pair with there no questions.
let's break this down. I'm an average Joe riding unpaved. I got my stock, $2,000 gravel bike, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I want to swap those wheels out.
I was going to say just run your stock wheels then.
No,
Spend more money on whoopie pies.
I want. Did you see Dave ordered 1,200?
I'm taking 200 of those home with me.
So what's a good, that $1,000 to $1,500 range? Am I gonna if I drop that kind of money on that wheel set? Am I gonna go, a difference? Am I gonna nod my head and go, oh yeah, okay, this was well worth the investment?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I went from Revolve SLX 24s on my Athos for like a month to Terra CLs. I mean, I didn't hit the speed bump yet over here on Dow before I was like, holy cow! Like I noticed a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then just riding them, I rode like my Kona on the road today, and I mean, I know like I actually need to switch my wheels out to my Kona and I need to rearrange some stuff on my bikes, but I think it's extremely noticeable for a lot of folks. Okay. Some folks, like, no offense to Jess, I could throw Jess on like $5,000. There's a company actually called Lightweight wheels. I don't think she would ever notice. She just wants to get on and ride, and whatever's comfortable is comfortable. She doesn't know she's on like probably the nicest aluminum setup you can put together. They look cool.
Nice.
So I mean, she might notice them, but she's always happy and just wants to go for bikes rideable when it looks good.
But if I'm at that point where it's like, okay, it's time for me to make a major shift on my bike, and I put $1,500 into a wheel set.
Yeah.
And
so $1,500 you could go with Revolve or Zip and have nice wheels. Like Zip has one of I forgot the name of the wheel. I really hated Zip for about 900 years.
The 303 Firecrest. I think they've got a gravel wheel now.
And
it's gotten pretty good reviews.
I think it's a 303S.
Yeah,
I've heard. I've actually was looking at it when I didn't think I was going to get Revolves. I was really sour about Zip. Everyone was forever. Unless you're a triathlete, but they've I think people like Ted King have given Zip a better name by running them on gravel.
Okay,
like I will contribute Ted King to that if like on the industry side. So yeah, he's done a lot for him.
If I'm looking for that top performer, I've got money to burn. What are I don't want to say specific wheels, but what are the brands that I should be looking at? I got money to burn. What would you look at? Envies?
Oh, if you had money to burn?
Yeah, money to burn. Money to burn.
I mean, Envies are flashy, but they're a pain in the ass to get. I got a set of those 4.5 ARs. Like, Envy came out and had their whole thing with the ARs, the AR all road, whatever. Yeah, 4.5 ARs.
And I know there are people right now screaming at
I don't care.
Phone. They're going.
Read a book. They can start their own podcast. But those things suck to get tires on. Anyone with 4.5 ARs right now that's listening to this is probably saying the exact same thing.
They're not
beautiful wheels.
Yeah.
I had a pressure thing with them, and they've actually fixed that. Like actual pressure buildup in the rim, and we had a customer explode a rim.
Ooh.
2 customers, Alonzo blew up. They didn't have a pressure relief thing, and then the whole rim exploded. Yeah, under load. Yeah, not even riding it. Just those ARs are beautiful and they're comfortable, They start at $27.50, I think, or maybe $25, depending on the hub.
Start at. Wow.
Most people, I think every pair I did were with Chris King hubs or 240s, so like $3,000, $3,200.
Okay. Now, mid-range.
You got to wait like 12 weeks.
Mid-range. What are some brands to look at? We've already probably, Revolves.
Yeah, but I would put the Revol CLXs up with the Envies.
Okay.
But you're going, the CLXs, the Revols are made overseas. Mm-hmm. The Envies are made in Utah or whatever.
Okay.
Like you're getting made in the U.S. versus.
Okay.
Now they're all hand built, like Revols, the Envies. I don't know about. I'm assuming Zips are, but they're hand built. Everyone's probably annoyed because I am pushing Revol so much, but they make a really nice product. And you could spend $1,000 and get really nice Terra Cs and notice a dramatic difference.
But those Cs, now I was reading about the Cs, is that one of the reasons that they've been able to keep that price point down is $1,000 for a carbon wheel set with what you would equate to a stock OEM hub.
Yeah, but it's also not bad.
But it's also an automated layup process. It's not. It's a new process they're doing to lay that carbon up.
Yes,
that's a little bit unproven, untested.
For $400 more, they have the CLs.
CLs.
Yes, CL stuff is pretty bulletproof.
Yeah.
So
CLs. That's a good mid-range?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't need a ceramic speed hub or ceramic speed bearings and stuff. If I'm going to upgrade bearings, I'm going to go Kogel anyway to ceramic and spend $200 on bearings and get just as. I'm actually going to have better customer service and stuff with
Could you come back later and do that to the CLs?
That's what I'm saying. I could wear out the bearings of my CLs when I want to replace them. I'll call up Ard and Kogel and just say, Ard, because he's done my wheels for me in the past. I used to trade him bike builds and stuff. And he'd give me bearings and pulley wheels. And we have a good relationship. But I've had just as good experience with $250 set of bearings with $600 set of bearings from Ceramic Speed. So you can do that to any wheels. You could do that to your DT base model.
Bottom line, Joey, gun to your head, best value, best bang for your buck right now if you want to upgrade your wheels.
Terra CLs.
Okay. Good, because
I've been preaching it, yeah. But, and I say that just like I am a little biased, but I've dealt with everything else. I've had a horrible taste in my mouth with Zips. There's some Bontrager wheels that are really nice too, Trek's in-house wheel brand.
Right.
But Revol is pretty solid. I mean, when you had who was the One World Tour Pro? They had a Zip contract, and he was pissed and made the whole team switch to Revol. No. But the second part of it, Cancellara, Fabian rode Specialized one year. Anyway, doesn't matter. Peter Sagan rides them. So Revol has a no questions asked. So when you're riding gravel, something might go south.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the
it's
customer service
might go south. It's just when it's going to go south.
So customer service is solid, but
mid-south.
Yeah, you screw up a wheel, you're the original. And I think they have a transfer thing, but let's give you a new wheel. You're a customer now, and you come in and your Carrie runs it over, trying to go get spicy chicken nuggets for me at your house.
No way, really, to that level.
Yeah.
So if you're bombing down a descent and you take that bike and you
Envy
make
has a program
wrong,
like that too. I don't know if you have to buy into it with Envy anymore, but
well, that's a huge plus right there. A no questions asked. Is that a lifetime guarantee?
I think Zip might, but I've never had any kickback with Revol like I have everything else.
So when you've had problems, they're easy to deal with. Hey, customer service is huge. That's a selling point right there. That's enough. So okay, that's good. I mean that's. I think
Zip's updated theirs, but I don't think it's as bulletproof as Revol.
Okay. So CLs, people, that's the word.
Yeah, if you want CLXs, spend the extra. But so like really cool thing. So Terra CLs have a 25 millimeter internal. Which is really nice. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing I noticed. Terra CLXs, which I think Marcus has those. His 42s look ginormous.
Yeah, they do.
They did it. I had 42s of mine.
I had to ask him. I was like, how big are those tires?
So the CLX is the internal rim.
I think it's 25 also.
No, that's the Evo. Sorry. The Evos they do on the Terra CLXs. They were the pair I got before on Pave last year or whatever. Was it last year?
2 years ago.
30 millimeters.
30 millimeter internal?
Yes.
Holy cow.
That's why that thing probably rides amazing.
You got to be careful what tire you get though.
So the downside, if you want to run 28s or 25s, don't buy like a 25 internal.
Oh my goodness, you wouldn't have any tire.
No,
It would just
I was running into issues with that when like the first CLX 50s, or we were doing a lot of like CLX builds. But like 25s on those internals were like, yeah, it seemed like the rim was wider. You had to go wider or it looked bad.
You're forced to the wider tire.
Yeah.
All right, nice conversation about tire and about wheels, and we didn't even dip that far into tires, so I appreciate that.
We were talking about wheels?
No, we're not. We're talking about wheels, not tires. You want to do this or that?
Yeah.
Okay, first item, Joey, on this week's this or that, and I've got good this or that's this week, I think.
Sure?
Are you reading them? Are you looking at them? You don't look at
briefly, but I forgot.
them. Okay, first item on this week's this or that, Rush or Led Zeppelin?
Man, there's something that just went around about Rush on the mechanics groups.
Really? I didn't see that.
No, about like, yeah, if you don't like Rush, you kick rocks. I've always loved Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Like hardcore Led
So
Zeppelin.
you're going to go Led Zeppelin?
I mean,
over
I
Rush?
love a little Geddy Lee, but I also like John Bonham just as much. And,
I'm a Rush guy through and through.
I'm
Between
sorry.
the two. Between the two.
Well, you grew up in the era.
Yeah. So
Well, we were a little behind it, but or in front. I'm not saying you're old. Yeah.
I'm not a boomer.
I think my first.
Jess, I'm not a boomer.
I think my first Led Zeppelin song that stuck and I loved. I don't know how young I was the Immigrant Song.
Uh-huh.
It just fell. Oh my god!
It just came up on my playlist this afternoon.
That was my. I think that was my first CD my mom got me. Like when CDs were a thing, was Led Zeppelin.
Oh, see, I had to buy cassettes.
Well,
I
see,
didn't buy 8-tracks, but I did buy cassettes.
My mom was a Led Zeppelin, and my dad was more of the Queen. My mom has all the vinyl.
Did you
like,
just say your dad was more of a Queen?
Queen fan, like Queen, Guns N' Roses stuff. My mom was definitely the.
Paul, I'm glad you don't listen to the Gravel podcast.
He is a Queen.
So you're sticking with your Led Zeppelin. Okay.
All
okay.
the time, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm a Rush guy. We disagree. Second item,
We all can't be right.
chain restaurant or mom and pop?
I don't even know why you'd ask this. Because we know Chick-fil-A.
Well,
No,
some people like the consistency of the chain restaurant.
I love the consistency of like a Chipotle.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I know how my stomach's going to react with that one if it's before an event
And
or
you
something.
don't know what you're going to get at a mom and pop.
Oh, yeah, no. God, no.
You got no clue.
It's 100% worth it. That's why I carry Pepto everywhere.
Worth rolling the dice for the mom and pop. I agree. Because you never
Remember I
can.
used to take Pepto before all our rides?
Oh, yes, I remember.
But I have, like, I didn't take it.
And what's the other medicine? The
Imodium?
Imodium.
One of them, like, I'd run into we always stopped at Wawa, and I'd run in and grab some, or I'd bring it with me, and I was okay. But I didn't the last few trips.
So I think we're both on the mom and pop page, right? I would much rather do a mom and pop. Yeah. The third item, underwear under your bibs or a persistent, slowly leaking tire.
I don't wear underwear.
Ever?
Just kidding. Oh, I would do underwear under my bibs.
Then have the nuisance of a persistently slow.
I would pick any pair. You could give me whatever pair of underwear. I would wear that over a persistently flat. That would annoy me so much. I mean, I would totally go out with a whale tail.
I'm not even
just to not have to worry about a flat.
I'm not even sure what that would feel like, though. Would that be? I feel like that would be horrible.
What?
Underwear under your bibs. I feel like it would be horrible.
It would suck having that slowly leak. I hate that so much.
I went out today before my ride. This is one of the reasons I was late.
You got flat?
No, I didn't get a flat on the ride. I had a flat before. I was putting air in the tires, and I noticed that I'd lost a lot of air, so I started spinning it around. I had a little spit and sealant, and so I plugged it with bacon, and then I wanted to double check, so I took it slow at the beginning of the ride and kind of gave it a little bit of time. Didn't drop air. I checked the pressure after I got back. I only dropped like 6 pounds all the 33 miles.
I wish I could lose 6 pounds on a ride.
We all wish we could do that. I still haven't made a choice. A slowly leaking tire is just because you're always then especially if you're with people, it's like, oh, I'm gonna stop and check my tire.
I think my biggest fear, like we did Cove Point Hill. Have you done Cove Point Hill before?
No,
on a bike?
No,
it's fast. It's long. It's scary. Like Millbridge scares the piss out of me.
I see now.
One of my biggest fears is like blowing out a front tire on a descent.
Oh, okay.
And just
me too.
Eating it. Like I love going fast, and I'm not afraid of the speed going down the hill. I'm afraid of something happening, and that's why the low front tire anywhere.
Yeah,
no,
not
okay. Wear underwear.
I would
I'll wear
probably
2 pair of underwear.
I would probably go with the underwear as well, as long as it doesn't have any lace on it. So speaking of Millbridge,
Yeah.
the other day I've been pushing the Roubaix down
You blow out.
Millbridge,
Yeah.
and I've had it up to. I saw 48 the other day. It didn't register on my Strava. I went back and it looked. It was like 47 point something, but I know I saw 48. Well, the other day when I'd gotten the Roubaix, just second or third ride back, I'm screaming down Millbridge. You know how it bends a little bit? You got a little hook.
It's
And then
scary.
it's got the little hook to the left.
Yeah.
So I come around that hook to the left and I look at the bottom of the hill. The bottom of the hill is full of vultures, like sitting across the roadway.
Waiting
and
for
I'm
ya.
doing like 37 miles an hour around that corner. And then all of a sudden there's these vultures in front of me. And vultures are stupid and slow. So they just, I don't know if they're stupid, but they're slow. They just kind of, I started
They're a
screaming.
protected species.
And so
Did you ring your bell?
No, I didn't ring my bell. I started screaming. I was screaming at the top of my lungs for them to go away.
You want to know what's going on?
And they did. They all cleared, which is why I'm sitting here today. Last item on this or that, surprise road surface on a gravel ride or a surprise gravel surface on a road ride.
I think we had the surprise gravel surface when we did Make-All a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess you could
Although
call
we
it
didn't
that.
get to ride the really torn up part.
No,
but
I did ride the torn up part a few
Yeah, I
days
heard
later.
it's.
It's not that bad. Come on, everybody
I'd
complains.
be fine with surprise on the gravel. I mean, my bike would be a little more comfortable.
You
Running 32s on
wait a
that.
minute, surprise road surface on gravel or surprise gravel surface on road?
Surprise. I'll take
So you're on a road bike and you get to some surprise gravel.
But do you ride an Athos with 32s?
See,
We rode the Cove Point gravel yesterday.
I've ridden gravel on my Roubaix on the 28s. I've done like 13 miles down in Florida in some serious heavy shale gravel.
It's actually nice hitting asphalt sectors on a gravel bike. It's
Gives
fun,
you a little break.
It's fun riding gravel, but every so often it's nice having a little bit of asphalt.
Yeah.
Just to,
I think I'd rather have surprise road surface because that means that I'm on a big fun gravel ride.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather do that. I think if I had to do it the two ways around, although I'm not afraid of a little bit of gravel on a road ride. I'm not.
No.
It doesn't bother me.
We did
at
it
all.
yesterday.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Since I've gone tubeless on my road bike, I run my pressures low. So, but when I did the gravel down at Lake Apopka on the Roubaix, I think I dropped it down to like 65 on my road
that's
bike.
high.
No, on my Roubaix.
So I run like
It's
40 or
28.
50 on my road bike.
Well, yeah, I know, but you're
You gotta
running
go fast.
you're running balloon tires. So I think surprise road. So
what Ted King does.
I think we were pretty consistent, except for you being wrong about Rush versus Led
I
Zeppelin.
wouldn't say I was wrong. I just say I was more right.
Just different, more. I wasn't quite wrong. I was just a little more right.
Yeah.
Joe, you got anything else before we shut this one down?
We did a shop ride yesterday and talked about it. It was a blast. We all met at Starbucks. There's 5 of us, all the shop guys. It's fun when we can take the whole staff out and ride.
That looked like a fun ride.
And we just did pretty casual. Justin's probably the most fit person out of all of us. A collegiate swimmer who's going to go be a rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard.
Over Ryan on the bike?
I don't know. That's close, actually. No, actually, yeah, that's close. However, we're working on Justin's cycling cardio, and we pushed him 35 miles or something.
Who does he swim for now?
So he opted to go in the Coast Guard.
Okay.
So he swam for Frostburg last year.
Okay.
And he's Mr. Swimmer everywhere, and he's taught the little the stripers, whatever those group were down here and stuff. Coached. I'm very excited for him.
Nice.
And he's a good employee. He just started back up with us.
Well, I was sad to miss
For the
yesterday's
fall.
ride. I wanted to go
Yes.
with you guys.
Well, it turned into a shop ride. Shop employees.
Oh,
No, if you want to diverge and you want to
But
work.
wait a minute. I got like a weird connection, don't I? In some sort of way.
So we actually did. We went all the way down to Cove Point. We figured middle of the day at Ranch Club.
Uh-huh.
So we punched a couple of those really, those pretty steep climbs, and then we went. I took everyone to that cliff overlook. Have you been to
I
that?
saw that. Yes, I saw the video that you did.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was a cool view. And we
Uh-huh.
rode out, and we got coffee after. And
It was a fun little video on your. It's on your Instagram.
yeah,
And did you share that on GTD Instagram too?
I shared it as a post. Man, I ran into an issue doing Instagram reels. I don't know how
Yeah.
they work. I'm old.
Uh-huh.
I just thought I would take a bunch of stuff, but on our shop page, I guess we don't have 1,000 likes. We're really close. I need to promote that more. I was only allowed to do 30 seconds.
Ooh.
I accidentally made it as GTD first and posted it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to switch that. But then GTD and my personal account, I was a lot of minutes, so I posted my personal and shared it everywhere else.
Okay. So you could find it somewhere.
It's all over.
Some
Yeah.
way, shape. But it was a fun little video.
Yeah.
What did you use to build it? I know because you asked me.
Instagram on the Reels. I was running into issues with 30 seconds versus a minute, so I said I'd just. Then I realized Instagram TV or something. I don't know. Instagram.
There's so.
I was
much
like, if
of
I
that.
can make, then you have to be a minute and stuff. I was like,
so much.
So-
Premiere Rush though.
well, now I know.
That's you have a Premiere account, don't you? Or
I don't know. My
Adobe account.
Adobe's so screwed up.
Adobe
Adobe doesn't work on my laptop.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you don't have Adobe account.
Oh,
You
yeah,
use
I got
a Creative
Lightroom
Cloud?
and everything on my phone, yeah.
So you do have access to Rush, and it's
I
probably
like Led Zeppelin.
that's a callback, Joe.
Yeah,
Good
see?
job. I like that.
That's about it for me. I don't know if I do not have a long ride opportunity this weekend. So I am working Saturday.
Neither did I.
I'm working Saturday because Jess has a half marathon on Sunday in DC. So we're going to go up for the morning, maybe the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking about tomorrow might be a long ride for me, and it might be my last long ride before
not going to work.
before I begin my taper.
Yeah.
I do one more long ride and then begin the taper process. But I'd love to actually get a little gravel. I need to get my wheel fixed on that Diverge too.
I should probably do that tomorrow. The spokes are sitting there.
Are they? Because I need to take that with me. And depending upon when that frame shows up, I may or may not be able to take that bike, huh?
We'll find out. I emailed during the podcast.
Right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. It's a listener-supported podcast that you can find anywhere and everywhere. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can just go
Just
there.
say, "Hey Siri,"
and you could do that. Or I don't want to say the A word because she'll start screaming at us here in the kitchen.
I bet she will.
But yeah, I'm not going to do it. But you can join the fun on Patreon or PayPal if you would like to support us and see this continue to happen. We would very much appreciate it if you join the family over there. Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
Well, actually, I switched screens. Let's
You want me
see.
to do it?
We're at graveltraveldirt.com. Did you upload that gravel route to our gravel database?
I need to do
I think
that.
I told someone we were, and
will
I
do
just
that.
assumed I would tell you, but I forgot. Our Instagram is at Mid-Atlantic GTD. If you need to shoot me a message about jerseys or something, do it on that, or my personal Instagram at Joey Sikorsky24.
Got it.
And then 410-231. What's the last four of your cell phone?
3850.
No, your cell phone. 6224.
We doing any? No, stop.
Is that
No,
it?
you just gave out somebody else's phone number.
Oh,
I'm going to
well.
leave it at that.
It happens.
Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in Joey's kitchen. And make sure to join us next week when hopefully we'll have Dave Pryor from Unpaved of the Susquehanna River Valley joining us. Thanks for riding along.
All right. Our voicemail is 410-474-8345. Leave us a detailed one with your best Chewbacca impersonation.
Oh, I know who number that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you want to rewind,
If you want to call that number and do best Chewbacca impersonation,
you can get a sticker pack.
yeah, you get they all burn, but I'll buy more. If someone does Chewbacca impersonations on that number,
You want to give that number one more time, or people have to
No,
rewind?
one time.
You got to rewind. Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, and respect others.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. It's a whole lot better than I
Love
could
you,
do. Love you. Bye.